Hello and welcome to this video. And in this video, we are going to explore the forces reshaping our world from artificial intelligence to shifting global power. Now, my name is Rupa Singh, and today I'm going to dive deep into the concept at the crossroad of technology, politics, and economics. Now, we are talking about technopolitics. Now, picture this, it is the late 19th century. Vast empires are plotting their next moves. Maps dominate war rooms, control of land and its resources, and power. Now, this was the age of classical geopolitics, a world where geography, territory, and physical space governed international relations. Now, back then, thinkers like Halford Mackinder argued that who controls Eastern Europe controls the heartland. Who controls the heartland controls the world. Now, reflecting a worldview grounded in geographic and strategic terrain. But fast forward, the world transformed. Two world wars, nuclear deterrence, and globalization reshaped how states think about influence. Now, by the 1990s, geoeconomics emerged. Geoeconomics was coined by Edward Luttwak, capturing how economic power, trade, GDP, and investment now shape global influence almost as much as armies and borders once did. And now a third dimension has entered the stage. Now, in the 21st century, something powerful is happening. The world is no longer ruled solely by lands and markets, it is shaped by technology. Now, consider this emerging paradigm geotechnology. It represents a shift from thinking about power as territorial or economic to thinking about power as technological capacity itself. Now, in this evolving lens, technology becomes a prime determinant of global influence, shaping decisions traditionally dominated by geopolitics and geoeconomics. Now, this is no minor tweak. It's a transformation as significant as when steam engine first powered the industrial revolution. Now think of the fourth industrial revolution where digital, physical and biological worlds converge and the strategic function of technology becomes unavoidable. Now, and this isn't just an academic talk. Researchers argue that as emerging technologies like AI and quantum computing redefine global dynamics, traditional geopolitical variables such as land or natural resources begin to lose their exclusive role. Now, instead, data infrastructure, algorithms, semiconductors, supply chains, and digital platforms, these become strategic assets in the nation's toolkit. Now, let's pause for a philosophical moment. Power used to be measured in footprints on the ground, armies, colonies, borders, and then it was measured in markets and capital flows, GDP, trade, currency influence. But today, power is also about control over information, networks, and digital infrastructure. And in the age of AI capabilities aren't just a technological triumph, they are geopolitical signals. And when national leaders proclaim strategies centered on AI research or semiconductor production, they signal a new form of sovereign capacity, not just economic or military, but cognitive and computational power. As one recent study on global technopolitics puts it, technology is no longer neutral, and the assumption of neutrality has been thoroughly challenged by strategic competition between great powers. Now, let's take a story that illustrates the reality of technopolitics. In the last decade, a quiet but powerful contest unfolded, not on the battlefield, but in laboratories and data centers. Countries raced to build the most powerful AI models. The US, China, and European Union each took different routes, building infrastructure, guiding regulation, or asserting digital standards. And in 2017, Russian President Vladimir Putin famously said, artificial intelligence is the future not only for Russia, but of all humankind. And a few years later, China's leader declared their ambition to lead in core technologies, and the US reassured its citizens that we are going to see more technological change in the next 10, maybe next 5 years, and that we have seen in the last 50. So, what was striking was not just the rhetoric, it was the policy responses, export controls on chips, distinct AI regulatory approaches, and emerging alliances around data governance. And here, technopolitics wasn't just a concept, it was a practical strategy. Now, traditionally, geopolitical looked at territorial variables, who controls what land and resources. Now, in contrast, international relations theory diversified over the 20th century from realism to liberalism to constructivism, and even Marxist critics trying to explain power, identity, norms, and inequality. But one challenge persists. How do we integrate technology into these frameworks? Now, increasingly, scholars argue that technological capacity from AI algorithms to data networks must be seen as a strategic factor shaping diplomacy, alliances, conflicts, and governance structures. And geotechnology aims to do exactly that, adding a lens that captures how digital infrastructure, innovations, ecosystems, and tech standards determine influence in ways that go beyond traditional geopolitics or geoeconomics. So, what do we take away? As we reflect on technopolitics, it's clear we are witnessing not just change, but recontextualization. Technology isn't merely a tool, it is becoming a central axis of global power. It reshapes how states interact, how markets behave, and how governance must evolve. Now, from classical geopolitics rooted in territory to geoeconomics grounded in markets, and now to geotechnology. And the arc of history shows one pattern. As human systems evolve, so do the lens we use to understand power. And as we grapple with AI, data, and innovation ecosystems, technopolitics reminds us the future of governance, global and national, will not be decided by borders alone, but by who shapes and controls the technological frontier. Now, if this topic resonated with you, subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our shared future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.